Welcome everyone to our week 13. We are really getting on the home stretch here. As we begin week 13, we are going to go back at issues related to collaboration, working with the constituencies around us. It is vitally important that a principal works on building good relationships, good collaboration with staff, faculty, parents, the parish community, and the community at large. You need to do this in order to effectively administer the school. This begins with the pastor. A good, healthy pastor-principal relationship is vital. The first time you are hired, this is kind of the honeymoon because the pastor chooses you and you choose him. And you know that on most things you kind of think alike. But if the pastor is changed and you are still there, hopefully, then you have to learn a new administrative style. And you will have to make the adjustments. Some pastors are very committed to Catholic education. They are in the school constantly, almost micromanaging to a fault. And you have to deal with that. And you have to appreciate their keen interest and their willingness to give example and to give guidance. Some pastors almost appear as though they want nothing to do with the Catholic school, and they entrust it to you to run because they have great confidence in you. And they seem, anyway, that they don't want to be bothered. They do. They want to know those important issues. But they put their trust in you and they kind of walk away and leave you to work on your own. Perhaps the happy medium is the pastor who says to you that I want you to run the school. You are responsible for it, but let me know what I can do to help. And if you need me, I will be there. Just let me know. So he wants to be kept up to date on major issues, and he wants to work together with you. Whichever way it is, you are not going to change the pastor's administrative style. You need to be able to work with him. One of our principals many years ago in the Arlington Diocese, a Benedictine sister, Sister Benedict, used to boast that she had worked with 9 pastors and had survived all of them. Each one had a very different leadership style, and yet she was able to make it work with each one of them. She could see the wonderful qualities that each one possessed. And she knew the areas that she needed to be comfortable in being collaborative, being sensitive, and knowing how to give and take, basically. So you need to learn what is the leadership style of your pastor, especially on important issues, and what are the battles that are worth fighting. Some things are little and don't waste your time. Just let it happen. Let him have the final word. Other things may be really strong and have a really heavy impact on the future of your school. And because you have the background in education, you may see things that he doesn't see yet. You need to work on that approach. How do you make him aware of those things so that you can win the significant battles? So you need to bend. You need to know when to bend, and you need to know when to hold fast to what is really, really important for you. It comes down to building a good pastor-principal relationship and collaborative style. But the pastor is not the only one with whom you work. You need to develop a good working relationship with your teachers, to learn how to interact with them. They need to know that you trust them. And trust is something that is earned. So they need to know that you trust them as you begin to work with them and to let them trust you. So trust is a two-way street. It works both ways. Looking for the positive, building them up so that they recognize that you see the good things that they are doing. So that when there is something that perhaps needs to be modified or changed or even corrected, there is more of an open door, more of an opportunity for them to be willing to listen to you because you've listened to them, to trust you because you trust them. So, a great practice when you are new to a school, whether you're a seasoned principal or the rookie on her first or his first assignment, is to take time to sit down one on one with every member of your staff, your teachers, your staff, your administrative staff, your maintenance people, your cafeteria people, and anyone else with whom you work. And have a chat with them. Tell them how happy you are to be there. Welcome them back from the summer. Tell them what you love about the school so far, but ask them to tell you, what do they love about this school? What makes it special? Why do they get out of bed in the morning to come to this school? And at the same time, what are some suggestions that they might have for the future growth of the school, the modifications? What are some of the issues that they feel are really important? Not that you're going to change everything. You can't do that, nor should you do that, especially in your first year or two. But that you want to hear from them. They've been in the school, and what are some areas for growth that that they would like you to consider? And listen. You don't have to make all the changes, but you need to know, what do people observe? How do they feel? What do they see? And you may find in some of those suggestions some really good needs that need to be addressed. Not in the first year, unless it's a significant financial or moral issue, and then you work with the pastor on that. But you need to hear what are good things and what are the areas for continued growth. And let them know that you will take their suggestions under consideration. And then you keep your door open and you build mutual trust. Now, open door doesn't mean that they have the right to come in at will at the drop of a hat when you're in the middle of a meeting or working on a report. Open door in a symbolic way, that you are open to their suggestions, open to listening to them. And yes, there are times to have that open door, but also to know that there are boundaries. There will be times when you have meetings in school, out of school, when you have some things to get done, and there may be a physically closed door, but it doesn't mean you're not willing to be open. Perhaps that's a time, if it's a significant issue, ask them to email you and make an appointment. But an open door in the sense of being open and receptive to each person on staff. Then you need to build a good, healthy relationship with your students. Sorry about that. My computer makes little noises once in a while and I can't control it. It's those little pop-ups that, they want you to pay for an extra subscription. Well, I don't have the money to do that, so we live with it. So you need to build a good, healthy relationship with your students and their parents, whether they're preschoolers or seniors in high school. That means setting boundaries, looking at the handbook, but it also means being visible, available to the children so that they see you as the instructional guide, the managerial guide, and most of all, the spiritual leader in the school. It also means that the pastor and the priests are seen that way as well. And that's where you encourage your priests to, if possible, maybe work out a schedule for teaching a class once a week, but something that can be coordinated with the teacher. So it's not seen as, Father's just dropping in and I have to drop everything, but you work on that and try and have them be a visible part of the school as well. But you are the spiritual leader along with the pastor and the principal in that day-to-day interaction, beginning with morning prayer, prayer before classes, at mealtime, at the end of the day. Planning activities, the Christmas pageant, the May devotions, and the Holy Rosary in the month of October. So it's important that in your first back to school night, you begin to think about, what are you going to say? I know you already have some thoughts from another class, and that's a good beginning. Many of our newest principals have used that assignment as the basis for their remarks for their first opening school, back to school night. And it gives you a head start, and you can build on it then and adapt it to the school where you are. But they need to know, particularly the parents need to know your philosophy, what you value, and how you need their parental support. And the list goes on so that you can work together. It doesn't mean there won't be conflicts, but if you start from that perspective, you can build again that open door that says, we're here to work together. Parents are the primary educators of their children. We want to respect that, but then we hope that they will respect the reality that you are the trained educators and you are trying to do the very best for their children as well. You value that they have entrusted their precious children, whether they're 3 or 18 or 19, they have entrusted them to your care. You recognize that and you're grateful for that. So I hope this is going to be an exciting week for you. It is very vital to what you've learned this summer. And you may say, well, we did this already. No, it's an ongoing, never ending task. Just like anything else in life, if you feel you know it all, then you need to stop and take stock because life changes every single day. So have a great week. Hope to hear from you. See you on evening chats. And if not, I know that you're progressing and I will be looking and entering into your discussions for the week. Have a great week and God bless you.